Hey, what's up guys? It's Nehemiah Douglas here. You're welcome to call me Nemo, and I'm super excited about this video because I'm going to be going over the exact steps that I took to take my company from zero to hundreds of thousands of dollars, now at a seven-figure business, just using the Twitter platform. Before I ever ran a paid ad, before I ever knew about sales copy, sales pages, email follow-up, collecting leads, sales, any of that, I had already made hundreds of thousands of dollars just by using the Twitter platform. So I'm gonna go over the exact steps, use this video kind of as like a case study video so that hopefully you can get some value, you can maybe have some wake ups, some aha moments, or you can start to apply some of these steps into your business and see if it helps you out, all right? And if you stay until the end, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to work with me personally so that we can start working in the ins and outs on your business and hopefully scale your business either from zero to hundreds of thousands or zero to seven figures, depending on where you are in your journey. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to spend the next like 20 to 30 minutes going over the exact story, the exact steps that I took in order to do this. Some context here to get this started. Some context is I was selling a day trading course, all right? I know guys that are selling, they're selling stuff through Twitter, whether it be e-com, courses, services, it really doesn't matter. The Twitter platform is very, very powerful and a lot of people aren't utilizing it. If you've ever been on Facebook and you see a funny meme and you see, something that your friend is sharing and it's just going viral, you keep seeing it, chances are it started on Twitter. If you follow back like all the funny shit online, it all starts with Twitter. I don't know why. The platform is just built with funny people, but the other part of it is Twitter is built for virality. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all these other platforms, they're not really built for virality. TikTok might be on the rise with that, but Twitter was the first platform that truly honed in on this, and then all the other social media started to follow. Now we have share on Facebook, you can share on Instagram. I think you can even share on YouTube now. So Twitter was the very first platform to do this. With that said alone, I'm sure you can imagine how powerful it can be for the organic reach. And I had already built an obsession with Twitter dating back to 2012. All right, I don't have a lot of followers. I don't have tens of thousands of followers. I think I have like 6,000 right now, but obviously that's after 7 years of just posting what I want to post, building some kind of authority, and then also using some of the things I'm going to be talking about on this video. So I had already had an obsession with Twitter for like 3 years or so, 3-4 years around the time that I started using it for my current business, all right? Now, my current business is a day trading course, like I said before, and but before I ever released the course, I had a signal service, all right? Now, all this is very relevant, so I don't want you to think I'm getting off topic. Now, I had a signal service. Now, this signal service, what the goal was, is I would send trades to a group chat, and it would have all the entry, the exit, all the risk management principles, whatever, and people would plug in those same exact numbers, hit go, and they would take the same exact trade as me. Now, I was doing this very low, like low ticket. I was selling it at like 50 to 100 bucks per month, and it got them the subscription. I didn't really know how to market it, to be completely honest. Like I said, I had no understanding of paid ads, pixels, copy, email follow-up, none of that. I didn't even have sales experience, okay? So I had this, I have this service. I see other people have this service on Facebook, and I chose to take my efforts to Twitter. So I'm posting, I had built, built up a little bit of subscriber base just from posting. People would reach out, but I was having a really, really hard time closing people. I had tons of people that were reaching out to me, and I couldn't close them to save my life. Even at 50 to 100 bucks a month, I could not close these people. So I actually went to a sales conference the day that I quit my job. I got home, and I had just gotten that last paycheck because, Forex, my trading, had taken care of it. And then I had like 1,000 or 2 coming in from the signal service. So I was okay to quit my job at that point. And the day that I got home, I saw an ad for a sales conference with Brian Tracy. So I was scared to actually buy this ticket because I knew I had just quit my job and I didn't have any safety net anymore. But I went ahead and I bought the ticket. It was like 500 bucks. And I went to the sales conference a few weeks later. Well, the sales conference was life-changing. I learned sales for the very first time, and Brian Tracy actually ended up being a close mentor of mine, and he brought me onto his TV show about 6-7 months later. So that was an awesome experience to meet him, and then get brought onto his TV show later on. So it was great for that to happen. But the bigger thing is I learned sales. Now here I am. I've got Twitter. I'm getting some people to reach out to me, but I'm not closing them the way that I want to. Well, now I've got this sales experience, but I don't have as many people to close anymore, because now I know how to close. I'm getting people on the phone. I'm closing them like it's nothing. It was very easy after that, and it still has continued to be easy to not only do sales for myself, but also to teach other people sales. Well, I had to bump up my numbers. So I went through a service called Manage Flitter, all right? Manage spelled just how it is, and then Flitter is FLITTER.com, okay? ManageFlitter.com. And what Manage Flitter did is it was a mass following and unfollowing service, okay? So what that means is I would go on Twitter, I would find people that have big accounts. They might be an influencer, or they might be a theme page, or they might be a celebrity that whatever. If I felt they were fitting to my content, I would go in and I would use Manage Flitter. And at the time, I don't know if it's changed now, but at the time, you could follow and unfollow up to 1,000 people per day. Okay? So I would follow 1,000 random people using this Managed Flitter service. It would take me less than 10 minutes to follow 1,000 people. That's 1,000 new people that are getting exposed to my brand, okay? So I would use this, and I think it's still active. I think the subscription was only like 29 bucks a month or something like that, and if you wanted to manage multiple accounts, it's a little bit more. So I used this service, paying 30 bucks a month. I would follow 1,000 people. I would wait until the next day. I would see how many of those people followed me, and let's say, 10 to 20% of that 1,000 followed me. So that's 100 to 200 new people that are following me every single day. The people that did not follow me, I would unfollow them, and then I would follow a new 1,000 people from a different account or within that celebrity or big accounts followers. Okay, so I'm getting thousands and thousands of people every single month. All right, that's how I built up. I don't do it as much anymore because I'm not as concerned with it at this point. I like the organic reach now, but at the time I was desperate for sales. I didn't have any leads coming in, and I didn't know how to run paid traffic. So this was a great tool for me to use. Along with that, I found a service, there's plenty of them out there. I don't remember the exact one I was using, but there's plenty of them out there that automates your direct messaging, okay? Your private messages. So anytime I got a new follower, it would send out automatically to those new followers, hey, my name's Nemo, appreciate you giving me a follow. If you need any help with anything, just let me know, okay? I wouldn't try to sell them. I wouldn't try to be like, hey, I'm the Forex guy. I would just be a natural guy like, hey, I'm Nemo. If you need anything, thanks for following me. Just let me know, and I'll try to help you out the best way I can. Now, if you get a message like that from someone that you just followed, they followed you, you followed them back, you looked into their profile, you think they're pretty interesting, and then they send you a message that's friendly and open like that, chances are you're gonna look at their page at least. You probably already looked at their page to follow them in the first place, but in the event that you didn't, you're gonna take a second look at their page, okay? Now, on my page, I made sure that I had at the time, I thought it was my content strategy. Obviously, there's a lot more in depth that you can go with content, but at the time, it was my content strategy. And what I would do is I would post a lifestyle post, a motivational quote, and then pictures of food. Okay, really nice food. I was traveling the world, I was doing fun things with my new lifestyle after quitting my job. So I would post in that order. I had a VA that I paid, I think $5.50, maybe $6 an hour. And they would go on the big like Instagram pages that are motivational pages or quote pages, whatever, lifestyle pages. And they would take the quotes, brand them just like, with my brand, with my company at blah, blah, blah. And it would have like this nice motivational quote with a lifestyle photo behind it, and Lamborghinis, Ferraris, big houses, helicopters, stuff like that. And I would post in that order. I would post the lifestyle photo of me like on a nice balcony, at a pool, traveling to different countries, stuff like that. And then I would post the motivational post. And then I went to really nice restaurants and I would post a picture of my food. And that was like my content strategy. I would do that in that order all the time. So they would get this DM. It's nice, it's friendly, it's open. They go to my page. They see the lifestyle content. They see the motivational stuff. They see the nice food. Like, okay, this guy is clearly doing something with his life. All right. So that was like my form of branding at the time. That was my form of branding myself as an influential person, someone that is interesting. I feel like branding yourself as someone that's interesting is like half the battle or your company as something that's interesting is like half the battle in this day and age, okay? In the current space that we're in right now in the digital marketing era. On top of that, I also had my signal service. So whenever a person would give me a testimonial, if they would post something nice in the group chat, how much money they made, I would go and I would take that screenshot or that video and I'd post it onto my Twitter as well, okay? So now they're just getting bombarded with content, all right? Not only am I getting hundreds of people every single day, new leads every single day looking at my profile, they're getting reached out to automatically. Now I would take them through a process. I had like 2 or 3 messages I would send after that automated message, and it would get them on the phone like that. Okay, so I'm closing people left and right. Now, that was just the context. I know that was a mouthful, but as the story thickens, I got all these subscribers. I've got maybe 50 or so subscribers to my service now, my signal service. And, I had some people reach out to me and they're like, hey, like, this is great. Like, I like the signals and everything, but I really want to learn how to do this on my own. Like, I don't want to just plug and play anymore. I want to learn how to trade on my own. Now, here I am. I have never taught anybody anything before this. I had the signal service. It was very low maintenance. I could still travel and do my thing. I just post, like, whenever I'm looking for a trade opportunity, I would send it to my group chat and they would take it and then I got paid from it. All right. That was like my lifestyle at the time. But I had never taught anybody anything. And I had never even thought about like conceptualizing what I was doing in the markets and how it was working for me. In order to test my theory, I decided to run a beta test. So I went back to Twitter, and at the time, Twitter had just acquired Periscope. Now, if you don't know what Periscope is like a live streaming service for video, all right? It's kind of like Facebook Live and Instagram Live or whatever, right? It was like the first app for that, I think. I go onto Twitter again, and it embedded with Periscope, right on your feed. Okay, so when a person's scrolling, they're seeing tweets, they would see you live streaming onto their feed. So, like I said, I went to that sales conference. All right. This is where it gets kind of funny. I went to that sales conference, and towards the end of it, we had this speaker. I can't really think of his name right now, but he said, like, if you're gonna do anything, go big and go bold. Make a big, bold claim to the world, and your brain will find a way to fill that big, bold claim. Okay. So with this ringing in the back of my mind, I'm like, man, like, I'm going to try to teach people for the very first time, but I need this to be big and bold. So when I posted the Periscope session, I said, I want to help 25 people make $10,000 in 30 days. Okay. 25. All right. Now, obviously I had my sights really big and bold. But it worked. You know, I didn't have 25. I had 8 people reach out. Basically on the Periscope session, you know, I was actually buzzing. I had just had a couple beers. So that's in order to get this liquid confidence. I had a couple beers. I was like, all right, I'm ready. I'm going to hop on this Periscope session, and I'm going to try to teach people for the very first time. I'm going to try to sell people on a course for the very first time. I hop on the Periscope session. I'm buzzing a little bit. It's a little bit more friendly that way. And I'm like, yeah, I want to help 25 people. I'm killing it in Forex right now. If you want to learn, come learn from me. All right. And I was like, if you're interested, reach out to me via DM. I'll take you through the qualifications. If you qualify, we'll get you signed up. Now, I wasn't even charging that much for this service. Like this big bold claim, I was only charging like $200. Like that's how little I knew about like pricing and business and like all that stuff at the time. Like I was like, I'll just charge people $200 for this. Okay. So after the Periscope session, I think I had like 500 people show up for this Periscope session. They either were there live or they watched the replay. All right. And that's another beautiful thing about Twitter is that if you get one retweet, that tweet is going to be placed on the timeline of everybody that follows that person. Okay. So if I have 500 followers and then you retweet my tweet and you have 500 followers, my 500 sees it and your 500 sees it. Okay. So you get a few retweets, you can easily be into the thousands of impressions very, very simply. So I had like 500 people view this Periscope session, and 8 of them signed up. All right. I took them through my little sales process, whatever, and 8 of them signed up. We were in business, you know, so I made my first, like obviously I had been closing people through, you know, the subscription stuff, but I made like my very first like high ticket sale through Twitter. Okay. So I closed 8 of these units at $200 a pop. So I made, you know, close to $2,000 or so. And we were in business. So the deal was I was going to teach these 8 people for 5 days, 3 hours each day. And I was going to teach them everything I needed to know. I didn't have, or that they needed to know. I didn't have any like structure to it. I didn't really know how I was going to teach it. I didn't know anything at the time, but I was like, I'll spend 3 hours each day with them and I'll just talk about everything that I know and we'll build backwards from there. We all show up. We held it on Skype. At the time, I didn't know Zoom existed, if it even did exist at the time. And I've got all these people on and I take them through this session. All 8 were there. The next day, I think I had 6. The day after that, I think I had like 3. Day after that, I had 2. And by the final day, I had 1 person that was there. Okay. I guess the 3 hours each day was kind of like a overkill. Just, you know, hearing my voice for that long. But I had 1 person that stayed the entire 5 days. Okay. And he was very dedicated. He was typing away, you know, asking questions, you know, taking notes, so on and so forth. And the crazy part about it is 30 days later, he reached out to me and said, Nemo, I'm freaking out right now because I started with 1,200 pounds. He's in the UK. I started with 1,200 pounds and I've made over $10,000 in profit, close to $11,000 in profit, exactly 30 days since we had our last session. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, for one, I'm relieved because it finally worked, or not finally, like it actually worked. And two, like, that's awesome. He made over 10,000 bucks, you know, and it worked. Like, it worked. Like, I had made this big, bold claim. He showed up every single day. He was dedicated. He knew what he wanted and he made it happen. So I'm like, dude, like, I gotta get you on video. And I want to hear what worked for you. I want to hear everything. I want you to tell the story, tell everybody, and we're going to use it as a testimonial, okay? So I get him on video, we get on Skype again, and I go through like a series of questions like, hey, like, you know, what worked for you? What did you think of the training? So on and so forth. And I took that and I used it to not only restructure my course, but I took that video. And where can you guess I posted it? Twitter. Here's the thing. I've got my 50 subscribers in my Signal group. All those guys are retweeting it because they're hype. You know, they're excited. You know, they see what's possible now. Some of them had already made a few thousand just through the Signal service, but now they see like, man, like I shouldn't have missed out on that. And they're all pumped because the guy was also in the Signal service group. And, you know, everyone's just showing love and support. So they're retweeting, and this video is like getting widespread very, very quickly through all the retweets. Like I said, I used this information from the testimonial video to restructure my course from the 15 hours down to 4.5 hours of content. All right. Now, I'm getting ready to launch this course. This is, you know, over 3 years ago at the date of this video. And I shot this like fancy promo video. I rented a Maserati. I actually own a Maserati now, but I rented this Maserati and I put on my best suit and I had like this cigar and stuff. And I went out and I hired a film crew, and, you know, we shot these dope scenes. It had really nothing to do with Forex at all or trading at all, but it looked cool, okay? And that's how much I knew about marketing at the time. So we made this dope, cool, you know, this really cool promo video, and I've got this video sitting in my inbox. I'm set to release the course on September 1st. All those videos are done, and everyone's just waiting for me to release the course. So I've got this video, and I'm like, man, like I need a really good caption, because at the time, Twitter could only hold 140 characters. So you had to learn how to like build your thought and make it precise. Say what you needed to say and say it precisely, okay? Now I think it's like 220, 240 characters, so they increased it. But at the time it was like 140. So I really didn't know what I wanted to say. And I thought on it for 3 days. Okay, this was like me structuring a campaign within a paid ad, because I needed it to be precise, I needed it to attract, I needed it to grab attention, and the video would hopefully sell a bunch of units, okay? So the thing that I came up with is I said, attract what you want by being what you want. My mission, question mark, is to change 1,000 lives with Forex. Okay, I posted this video the date that my course came out on September 1st, and the video started to go viral. Okay, now I also helped with the virality, and this is where it gets really, really interesting. So if you've stayed along this whole time, then this is where it really gets interesting, and this is what really catapulted my business into multiple six figures very, very quickly. We all know what an influencer is at this point, but this is before like the big Instagram influencers. This was in the YouTube influencers as well. The influencers that I knew were like hermits. They didn't have a personal brand. They weren't that attractive, or if they were, they weren't like those type of people that wanted to be in the spotlight. They You know, they don't really post pictures of themselves. A lot of them didn't even really have a picture of themselves. They would have like a meme as their photo or whatever. Like they were like the hermits of the internet. All right. They live in a dark room. But the thing is they like run the internet. At least at the time, they ran the internet. Like anything that went viral back then was because of these guys. It either landed on their page or they took it from somebody else's page that like was starting to gain some traction and they had more followers. So they took it from that person's page and made it go viral. All right. Those were the guys that ran the internet at the time. It wasn't these big, you know, model types on Instagram. It wasn't these funny YouTubers or anything like that. It was those guys. And they ran themed pages that were around like, you know, funny crap, you know, like memes and stuff, Girls Daily or Just for Dogs or like whatever. Like it was like these weird theme pages that they would build into hundreds of thousands of followers, if not more. Okay. So I was fortunate enough to know a few of these guys and I got this video. I've got all this lifestyle content on my page. I've got all these testimonials from people going through my subscription and getting my signals. And then now I've got this brand new course that just launched, just hit the market, and I need a way to get it out to the masses. Oh, and then also I've got this case study where I helped a guy make $10,000 in 30 days. So I reach out to these guys and they're like, yeah, like what you need is an ad spot. Now, an ad spot was very, very powerful at the time. They're a little bit harder to find now, but it was super powerful at the time back then. Basically how the ad spot worked, let's take an account that had 250,000 followers. It's like a theme page. They post memes all day, whatever. They've got 250,000 followers. They had built a network. All these influencer guys knew each other, by the way. And they had built a network of guys that were either with similar accounts or bigger, okay? So you've got one account that's got 250,000, one that's got maybe 150, one that's got a quarter million, one might have 1 million, you know, so on and so forth. And they're all in this network and they help each other out, okay? Now, basically how the ad spot would work is one of them would retweet my tweet, okay, onto their profile of 250,000 followers, okay? So that's where it would start. And that sounds great. Like 250,000 more people seeing my stuff, awesome. But it didn't just stop there. And this is where it got really interesting. They would trade with the other guys that have 250,000, 500,000, so on and so forth, okay? So my tweet would get exposed to millions, hundreds of thousands of people within a short time frame because they're trading my tweet, okay? And the beautiful thing about it is I would get up to 8 tweets for 1 million impressions. So they would split up 1 million impressions over 8 different tweets, all right? And the beautiful thing about that as well is these accounts would sometimes lap over. So this account would have people that also follow this account and that account. It touched almost every corner of the Twitter sphere, to say the least, all right? And it was super cheap. I would pay like $400, $450 to reach 1 million impressions. So here I am. I've got my lifestyle content and my testimonial tweets. I've got, you know, the case study, and then I've got my promo video. So I reach out to the guy, pay my $400, $450. They start retweeting my 8 tweets. I start getting followers, and I've got these people that are reaching out to me when they follow me, then they get the automated DM. I take them through that same process. At this time, it was like so many people that I couldn't have calls anymore. So I had my sales page, and it was very easy to just send them to the sales page. They either bought or they didn't, okay? I didn't have follow-up. I didn't have retargeting. I didn't have any of that stuff. But it was such a powerful, compelling thing because people would come in. I would sell the offer at $597, so $600, and people would come in and start making money so fast. It was a lot of content, but it was compact into 4.5 hours. So a person could spend just a few short hours to learn exactly what I was doing and start applying it that day. So people were coming in, they would buy it on like a Sunday, and they've already made like $5,000-6,000 by Friday. Okay, like it was that powerful. So every time a person did this, every time I had somebody that would post in our group chat, like, I just made $500, I just made $1,500, obviously it would go to Twitter, and then I would have people retweet it. Or I would put it into my ad spots. If people had a really compelling day or a really compelling testimonial, I would get them on video, just like I did the first guy. I'd post it on YouTube and all that other stuff, but I also would post it to Twitter. So here I am, I'm paying probably $400 to maybe $1,000 per week just to promote my ad spots, and people are just getting like bombarded with testimonials. They're seeing the promo video, they're seeing they're seeing all these testimonials. And the thing that I did to format the testimonials is I kept the same format for each one. I had it in all caps. I would say $5,000 in 5 days testimonial, or $1,000 to $6,000 in 4 days testimonial, in all caps. And then I would quote them from the video, and I would say, Ryan says that forexfortunefactory.com is the best Forex training on the market. Or Ryan says that forexfortunefactory.com is the only thing that you need to learn how to trade. I would quote them and put my link into the testimonial. So whenever I had my ad spots, I've got my 8 slots, to put tweets in, and I've got 1 million impressions for it to reach. They would see this link over and over and over and over and over again. It was almost like a backlinking strategy, come to think of it. I've got the promo video getting posted on their page, then they see one guy, they might think, they might pass by it, be like, all right, he made $5,000, whatever, that's got to be a scam or something. Then they see the next guy, he made $4,000. The next guy, he made $7,000. The next guy, like, you could not escape me. And the beautiful thing about it is, I was one of the only guys on Twitter that's in the day trading space that made day trading normal. I wasn't posting ticker symbols, and I wasn't posting charts all day. All I did was post lifestyle content, motivational content, food, and testimonials. And by doing that, it gave people a sense of hope. It gave people an opportunity to say, okay, if he can do it, I can do it. I didn't really tweet shenanigans. All I tweeted about was like success, money, and what the success of my students were seeing, okay? And by doing that, and then boosting it all over the internet, all over Twitter, I was able to build my course from zero, literally zero, to close to $35,000 in sales that very first month of the course launch. And I did it without any paid ads, no kind of email follow-up, no kind of pixel, no kind of sales copy, no kind of anything. All I had was a solid strategy on Twitter. I got all of the traffic from Twitter, and then I had a sales page that I thought was the best thing in the world. The sales page didn't have any copy at all. It just had the things that you get, and that's it. Okay? And I was able to take that and obviously start investing more and more and more into my business. That bought me more ad spots. That bought me more credibility. Then I could start, getting into webinars. Then I could start getting into finally paid traffic. But I had already made close to $400,000 before I ever, it was like 370 something before I ever ran a single paid ad. And all of that traffic came through Twitter. I really hope that you got some nuggets here. I hope that you got some kind of like aha moments that you can apply to your business. Obviously now I run paid traffic, I have sales funnels, I have teams, I have follow-up, I have all those things, and I want to help you to achieve those same things in your business. Doing it on your own is going to take a lot longer than riding off of the experience of somebody else. I was blessed. I'm not even gonna say lucky. I was blessed to have it work out for me. So then I was able to invest and do things properly, and now I have a 7-figure business. But if it wouldn't have worked the way that it did, I would have been through years of frustration, trying to figure out why I can't get this course to sell, why I can't reach the people I want to reach, why my ads aren't working, why my funnel isn't working, why my copy isn't converting, why these things are happening. And I would have had to pay money that I did not have. At least my business was making money and it could afford these experiences and these people, bringing on agents, bringing on or agencies, bringing on whatever I needed in order to scale my business to 7 figures. But if you're not at that point right now, if you're at a point where you're feeling stuck or you can't get past a certain threshold, you are just getting started and you're just getting your business started and you can't quite find the customers that you want to find, then I want you to go on this page. You should see an application this whole time. Go on this page and you are going to fill out this application. I'm going to reach out to you personally, and we're gonna see if you're a good fit to work with me and my digital marketing agency. Go on this page, go to the application, fill it out in detail so I have a firm understanding on where you are in your business, and let's see if we can help you out. I really hope that this video alone has given you some ideas that you can apply into your business, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Hopefully you could take some of the value from it and some of the concepts that I used and apply it to your business at a low budget, because I didn't spend a lot of money at all to build my business into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So hopefully you can take some of those strategies, apply it to your business and get results from it. But I also want you to fill out this application so I can help you out in your business today.